Good morning. I'm going to start with a question that I don't need an answer, but just something to think about. So who here's got a goal weight? Now, who's on track? Or who lets stuff get in the way? Now, for most of you, I think a number would have come into your head straight away as soon as I asked the question. But I challenge that. And it's not about seeking a number, it's about seeking a healthy lifestyle. So I've participated in a number of events over the last few years, and I've got an interest in health and fitness. And I think we all do. Certainly you see people, marathon runners, CrossFitters, the gym junkies, and every day people are out there making fitness goals. You only have to go to Facebook and Instagram to see the photos. And I think that's with good reason. There's been a number of studies lately that have said when people come out and they make these open goals in a public forum like social media, they're more likely to succeed. There's a lot of pressure that gets put on them when they know that other people are watching and observing. And I think more importantly, what it's about is that social connection that they've got with people. But stuff gets in the way. And for some people it's work, it's long hours, it's travel. For others it's TV and computer games, or maybe our phones. Mobile phones have become very powerful devices in terms of technology. And when coupled with the internet, we use our smartphones more for delivering content and data than we do for making phone calls. We can customize our phones through apps and social media to deliver content. We can personalize our phones such that they become more of a social object that influence our habits and, for some people, our identity. So there's no doubt that in the UAE, we have a very high penetration rate when it comes to smartphones. And I know I came here today with 2 phones, and I'm not alone. There are a lot of people who have 2 smartphones. There was a recent study by the American University of Sharjah, and you can see that with 90% of students, even if it meant missing an important lesson or a test, they would go home to get their mobile phone if they'd forgotten it. That's that attachment that they get. And, why spoil a phone call with a shower? Obviously, there's some negative aspects to mobile phones and mobile technology in terms of habit, and some people would say it becomes a bit of an addiction. So let's go back to lifestyle. All things with lifestyle are about balance. Like I said before, challenging the numbers, we need to find something that's sustainable for us. So how do we use technology in a positive way? Well, we know that mobile phones are a gateway to the internet, and the internet is a vast resource of information and knowledge. So how can we use that in a positive way? I think the reality is that there's so much information there, it becomes confusing, conflicting, and it can often contradict what we know is right for us. So just as one little experiment, I thought I'd do a search for the world's best diet. Now, it should be the world's best diet, so there should only be one, right? But what I got was 38 million web pages. For your average person, what does that mean? What action can I take from that? How is that going to benefit me? It becomes this huge information dump. So this is where we come back to the fact that at the end of the day, we still need an expert. That was the traditional answer. We needed to have someone who could filter this information and provide something that's relevant to us. So on one hand, we have technology, and it's opening the door to all this information. And on the other hand, we still need that expert to act as a filter and provide us the information that we need for ourselves. Now, there's a great story here with the founder of GOQii, and his name's Vishal Gondal. He started India Games in 1999, and he grew this really successful company over many years with 300 employees around the world, and it was later sold to Disney. Now, at the end of that period, he realised that he had adopted some very unhealthy habits, and he wanted to make a lifestyle change. So what he did is he went out and he bought a number of wearables and tried them all out to see which was right for him. But he was left wanting. And all he got was a dashboard of data. You know, that's what these devices have in common. So for your average person, what does it mean? What do I actually have to do to get benefit from it? So what he found himself doing was using WhatsApp and sending the data to a coach, to a real person. But of course, you can't just exercise your way out of a bad diet. You know, we all know that. So next he found himself taking photos of his food and sending the photo through to the coach, because what he needed was actual feedback and what action do I have to take? So he was using WhatsApp, but you know, WhatsApp is a great application. I'm sure most of us use it, but it's not designed as a platform for fitness as a service. So what the wearables were lacking was that human element. Technology is bringing about these strong connections with people, like in social media. So why can't we connect with a coach in a more meaningful and in a more regular way? I'm going to show a picture here. You know, every day we have a number of choices that we have to make. You know, some days hundreds of choices, and a lot of them relate to health and fitness. And here's a burger, and it looks pretty good. So would it be a good choice or a bad choice? The reality is that someday I'm going to eat that burger, and I'm going to enjoy it. So now what do I do? You know, have I made a bad decision that I need to then try and just forget about and put it aside and move on? Or in a healthy lifestyle, can I find some sort of balance? So this is where that regular contact with a coach comes in. You know, the traditional method of having a diet plan and seeing someone and getting hit with a wall of information again, you know, and when really you're just seeking, well, what do I have to do next? You know, what step do I have to take? How can I make a healthier choice? So we need to embrace technology and have access to this coach in a more regular way. And it's out there now. You know, here's me communicating with my coach, and I'm sending through an application, I'm sending my meal information, and we're interacting on a daily basis. So we're sharing that journey together. She's helping me with that decision making. So when I do go out and I've had a late night or a busy morning and I've had 4 cups of coffee, she's thinking about how much water intake I'm having that day. When I eat that burger, she's thinking about my digestion and making a recommendation to adapt my evening meal around it, because I've gone and indulged in a high-fat, high-carbohydrate meal. And as I increase my level of activity, you know, my coach is watching the nutrient intake that I'm getting into my body, and as well making some, giving me some advice around natural supplements as well. And lately curcumin, which is a fantastic natural anti-inflammatory. So there's technology that's providing us all this information and content, when what we really need is a coach, okay, who's giving us the right advice. So we need to find ways in technology that we're putting the coach at the epicenter of ourselves and our lifestyles. Wearables and apps and mobile technology are really tools, and they're tools for the coach to then be giving us the right feedback, because what we seek is a healthy lifestyle. And it's not easy. If it was easy, no one would be obese. People have talked before about the addictions, and making these sustainable, healthy lifestyle changes are big steps forward. So technology is generating the data, and we're always going to need an expert to track the data, give us the right advice so that we can be the force for a change for good. Thank you.